This is the Emotive podcast. I'm your host, Dan, also known as orangesherbet. And I don't have an intro like I normally do today because, well, I recorded a couple of days ago with Grant, and there were definitely some good moments in the episode, but for some reason it just didn't feel right to have those audio drops at the beginning of the episode. You know, it took a little bit to crack him, to get him to open up, but he definitely did give me some insight into really what it's like to be someone as a young man, dealing with anxiety and trying to find his place in the world. And he was, fortunate to have his family around him to support him. But he also, revealed some details about at least one sort of unexpected big influence in his life, and someone who was only there for a short while but left their impact on him. Before we get started with the episode, I want to say thanks for the positive reception on the last episode, the Sippy Tango episode. If you haven't heard that one, I think that you guys will enjoy it. Please go check that out. If you enjoy the show, rate, review, share the podcast. You can find me on Twitter at Emotive Podcast, at orangesherb if you want. All those links are in the show notes. Look forward to doing a bunch more episodes in the future, and it may be people that you know, it may be people that you've just been introduced to. So here is my conversation with Grant. Hey Grant, welcome to the show. First time on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, had to get my fucking glasses because I feel like sleepy if I'm not wearing my glasses at the PC now. It's weird.
What?
It's weird. It's because I think it's because of the UV filters on these glasses. So it's like so much brighter. So it's like I'm kind of squinty. It's the same when I go outside, or if like I'm driving. I feel like my eyes would adjust eventually, but yeah, any sort of really bright lights or PC screen, and I feel like it makes me feel like I'm sleepy. There's one thing that's strange, but you're like a sleepy guy too, because you like to sleep 16 hours a day lately for whatever reason.
Apparently, I don't know what's going on. I'm just hibernating. I think.
Do you think it's part of the seasonal stuff, or
it's gotta be.
But you've also been working out a lot too. So I don't know. Do you feel like you've been pushing yourself too hard, or
very hard. Like, I don't know. Like, I get into the mindset, like, if I go to the gym, I just really want to go for it, I don't like having, like, just simple days. I'd rather just go all in.
Interesting. But are you healing, like, in between days?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, how old are you? You're, like, in your 20s still.
23.
23, yeah, you're freaking young. So, like, of course you can sleep that long. When I was that old, like, fucking sure I could sleep. I at least sleep 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Now it's like not concurrent sleep anymore. But I could make a better effort. Like today I got home from work and I was gonna go work out, and then I just didn't. I had kind of broken sleep last night, so I went to sleep for like 3-4 hours after work.
Nice.
And that's just like not great, but I feel pretty good now.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the best going to the gym once you've working out, etc. But once you've had like hardly any sleep, it's the worst. It makes you feel even more tired. It's gross.
Oh yeah, it's different. Well, I definitely know. I was like, I'm gonna go. But then I also knew, because I didn't eat breakfast this morning. I woke up, and the way that this job I've been doing works is you pick up whatever hours you want. You can also do these like on demand jobs for delivering. Yeah. So I got up, and then there was a job. There was like a $45 job on the phone, and it was like 8:30 in the morning, and I hit it, and I'm like, I'm doing it. I mean, it was gonna take like at least an hour and a half, but those type of things don't come around very often. I had to jump on it, and I didn't have time to have breakfast or anything, and I stayed busy all day. I have snacks in the car. I've got some like almonds, and I've got some like Cliff bars and stuff.
Yeah.
But I wasn't super hungry up until like an hour before I was done with work. And then But I'm in stores with food, so like if I need to stop and get food, I can. But a lot of times when I'm working, I don't want it. I don't really want to stop.
Yeah, I know, Phil. It's like you just want to keep going.
Yeah,
Once you stop the momentum, it's horrible. You just
yeah.
feel,
So,
yeah.
are you working right now? You said you're like sleeping
No,
6. You're not working right
no,
now.
I'm not. I've recently
Oh,
came out of a job. I used to work night
oh.
shifts at a store in the UK called Morrison's. So
Mm.
it's like 9 till about 7 in the morning. So
Uh,
it's
it's like a
probably why.
retail store or something.
Yeah, it's just like a regular grocery store. That's
Mm.
literally it. Yeah.
Mm. Your grocery stores are a lot different than we have here in the U.S.
Oh yeah, they definitely
Have you
are.
ever been to the U.S.?
No, I'd love to
How
go
dare
though.
you?
I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen most of the stuff. There's so much of
Mm.
it, so much content of it online. It's
Do you
ridiculous.
do you live anywhere near like London?
Uh, not really. London's about 4 hours away from me. So,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
US
they've
over there,
got the
that's kind of near for you.
yeah. I mean they well. Well, let's see. Where could I get in 4 hours? I could get to like the end of the state I live in,
Oh
pretty
my,
much, because I got to
yeah.
drive. There's like one giant there's like one major highway that goes north south in Colorado, and you have to drive through the big cities. There's like maybe a toll road you can take to
Oh
get around, but
jeez.
that's even congested nowadays. Yeah, the traffic's gotten
Yeah,
really
traffic
bad.
over there. Yeah, this
I was gonna
definitely.
I was mentioning London because there's a pretty cool like Twitch London group that's been established there, and it's gotten pretty huge.
Who?
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Fred and Emily.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, of
Fremley.
course, yeah.
They were pretty much spearheaded that, I believe, and they've been it's been going gangbusters for them. So
Yeah, I've
that's really
seen a lot of
cool.
it on Twitter, like the stuff they do. They do a lot of
Hmm.
meetups. I've seen a couple meetups they
Yeah,
tweeted out.
yeah. I've been paying. There's one in Denver here, Colorado.
All right.
You know the Twitch scene here in Colorado it exists, but it's just now getting to the point where people are kind of doing like meetups and that sort
Mm-hmm.
of thing. You know, Twitch Denver group I think is growing a little bit. I need to be more actively involved. Honestly, they had
Yeah,
a meetup this last Sunday. Yeah,
you should totally go for it. I mean,
totally. I
why
know.
not? But like
There's even a
UK, there's hardly
yeah,
anything. There's like
yeah, it's a
nothing like
bummer.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, in your area, like I'm not sure where you're at in the UK. Are you north or south?
West.
West.
Yeah.
The hell? That seems like the wasteland of the UK. I mean,
I mean, it's
what what bi- what
Birmingham.
what biome do you live in? Is it like
Forest, literally
what?
forest.
Damn, dude.
Where I live, it's
Oh,
just like there's like I guess you call them blocks. We call them rows. There's like 2 rows of houses and just like
hmm,
full on forest. For I don't even know. Pretty far though.
hmm. Yeah, that's something that kind of makes you feel like an outsider a little bit when you don't have people with common interests. I mean, I'm sure there's people that are
Yeah,
into games, but like, you've streamed on Twitch before. I think you're taking a little bit of a break now.
yeah. Mainly because of like you said, my sleeping. I just felt so drained
Hmm.
lately. It's
Damn.
yeah, it's been pretty tedious,
Hmm.
but
Do you feel motivated to get back into it once you're like,
full on back on like a schedule where I'm actually
uh,
awake and not
huh?
sleeping 16 hours a day. Then
You're
yeah,
kind of a person you like structure, don't you? You like to be on kind of a schedule because you've got like
yeah.
you got your gym time. You probably eat at a certain time too, right? Because you're working out.
I eat before and after. So, like, because mainly you want carbs, right? To get that
Hmm.
energy while you're in there. I don't like taking pre workout, like, or energy drinks. I just
Sure.
end up with headaches every time. But
Oh,
after the
everyone's got
gym,
different reactions to that stuff.
yeah. But I mean, after the gym, once you like get your chicken, rice, whatever you have, you feel better, a lot better.
I don't know. There's all this like bro science that goes on with it. You know, like
Yeah.
you wanna have maybe like a little bit of carbs before and then after. They have this thing that
Yeah.
on this show I don't do googling unless it's really critical that I get something
Hmm.
right. But this is just bro science. So I always heard that there was like this golden hour where you can absorb a bunch of protein like after you work out really hard. So
What? I don't think I've heard of
yeah, but
that.
I think it's just bro science. Like you like I think there's like a maximum amount of protein that your body can really absorb in a day. It's
Yeah.
some like is it like 60 grams or something?
It's something like that. But once you take more than that, you start depositing it as fat. That's
Which
literally
is what
it
you
comes down
should be
to.
doing. I mean, you got to bulk up a little bit, right? Like if you want to bulk up, I guess.
Yeah, but like I don't know, people just go over the top with protein.
They go over the top, yeah. Then they end up with like no neck and like. Hey, I mean, it is what it is. Like,
yeah, I mean,
when you get gains, you just
sometimes
you can go.
It's got to be about it.
Well, do you have like a naturally big frame? I don't know if I've ever seen.
Yes,
you do.
I do. I'm very broad. I've always been
Okay.
very broad. So,
are you also tall?
No, I'm average.
See, I pictured you like 5'8".
I'm 5'10".
5'9". 5'10". Okay,
yeah.
5'10". That's pretty close.
Yeah, you're very close.
Wait a minute. So you're in the UK, but yet you refer to heights in feet.
We do. Yeah.
You do still.
Yeah.
Not meters. Okay.
No.
So you're not. Wait a minute. But like weights and in like you're like partially metric system over there. I'm confused.
Not really.
No.
No.
I guess. Well, I guess it's more like EU that's like metric system, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm always confused. See, I only focus on like what it is here in the US. That's what it's like here in the US. We don't learn other languages. We don't learn the metric system. We have our language, we have our slang, and then everybody else has to explain their shit to us.
Yeah,
but I guess maybe a
lot of American like slang makes no sense to me. It's so different. We're so literal, and you guys I feel like you make up a lot of words.
We do because we don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean. Like you drink colas over there, like you were saying the other day.
Right, yeah, but it's also in some areas of the country it's called, here, get me a Coke, even if it's not a Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
it's
give
me a Coke.
That too.
And like soda or pop.
Pop. We use pop up here. Pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you call it? You would call it a pop?
Yeah, we call soda pop. Just pop. Or fizzy pop.
Yeah, but you guys probably have like maybe 1/10 of the variety of...
dude, we're so basic. Like
we're all about food manufacturing here, and we want to make it with all sorts of preservatives so it'll last forever, and that way our grocery stores can have a million items.
So full of sugar too, your guys over there.
And we actually have like what we call like an international aisle that started a bit ago. I don't know, like the grocery store I worked in started it a little bit after I started working there, and so we import a bunch. So we actually have a section for the UK.
All right.
Yeah, but mostly it's like spotted dick and like I don't know.
Just that's
like what is that stuff?
It's a cake. It's like spotted dick's a cake. It's like sponge cake with like raisins and fruit and
so it's like a fruit cake.
Yeah, it's not that nice.
Ugh.
That's so generic.
Is Pocky? Is that something
in the UK? No, I mean we see it on like stores, but it's not like a UK thing.
I wonder where that came from.
I'm pretty sure it's a Japanese thing, ain't it?
Pocky? Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe. What about Tim Tams? Is that something?
Australians.
Australian. No. I'm getting all these things mixed up. I'm trying to think of like what are the traditional like UK candies and shit? Jaffa cakes. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Jaffa cakes is just the golden thing to have in the UK. Jammy Dodgers. What the fuck? Okay. Okay, you have to explain each of these things. Okay, Jammy Dodgers it's kind of like it's like shortbread with like jam in the middle, but it's not really shortbread. It's very thin. Scotch eggs. That jam must get really like kind of I don't know dank or something. No, I think it's hard to explain. Yeah. It's like trying to think of an American equivalent. Kind of like does it turn into kind of like you ever had Fig Newtons? Does it turn into kind of that? What is that? Well, Fig Newtons, it's like God, what is even that? It's like a squishy thing, but it's just like dried fruit that's kind of mashed up in the middle. It's not really cookie on the outside. It's like a soft bread, soft kind of like grainy bread on the outside. Yeah, no. I mean, okay. No, nothing like that. That would be kind of like fruit preserves almost. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. Who gives a shit, though? It's just jam in the middle of a jammy dodger. Okay. Scotch eggs is breadcrumbs, sausage on the outside, and a boiled egg in the middle. See, like I can get down with that.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
it's
wait.
really good.
I thought it had like meat. Oh, you said sauce. Is the sausage like stuffed in the egg?
No, it's sausage. The sausage is what's covering the egg. It's like around the
Oh,
egg.
so it's kind of like a meatball egg.
Yeah, more or less, kind
Because
of.
that's how we make meatballs here, at least.
What?
Of course, we claim them as our own, but I'm sure they came from wherever, like Italy or something. But
Yeah,
you know,
the
it's like a
sweets.
sausage or beef or something,
Oh, what the hell?
and then
Yeah,
you
no.
kind of mix it with egg, and then you cover it in breadcrumb, and then you pan fry it or whatever.
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
yeah, but
no. What?
you just do like the meatball on the outside, and then you got an egg on the inside.
I think I've seen that. Yeah,
I think that's smarter.
they do it a
You've
lot.
never
With,
had you never had meatballs?
well, yeah, I've had meatballs, but not to what you're explaining. Not like that.
Uh, oh.
Like I've seen
Wait a minute.
videos. Like they have cheese in the middle and
Oh.
everything.
Oh, okay.
But
Well, you know, some meatballs don't have breadcrumbs on the outside. Sometimes they're just like egg.
oh
And
yeah,
whatever.
no.
Yeah.
The ones we have just don't. But
That's the type of meatball I make. I don't really make them with breadcrumbs.
it's also sausage rolls, which is just pastry with the sausage in the middle. It's more or less that's
Right.
all there is to it.
And then like beef Wellington, of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Is that just like one of those basic bitch dishes that like
Yes.
nobody wants?
I mean, people
Like
have
Gordon
it. But
Ramsay keeps trying to promote it on every like
Yeah.
cooking show that he does, but
Yeah, I mean, Gordon Ramsay's Scottish anyway, so it's probably popping
right.
up there, ain't it? So
Oh, I forgot about
yeah.
that.
So like haggis and everything up there. I
Oh,
don't know what they
God.
have, but I don't know. That's
Hmm.
like everyone associates that with Britain, though. Everyone.
Do you,
Beef Wellington.
is that just like a bane? Is that just like something that's annoying because everyone just brings them up?
Yeah, it's like when they think they know what it is, like what the basic is. God, it's just I don't know. It's
Yeah.
whatever to me, but
Oh, I saw Gordon Ramsay making an English pizza.
yeah, English pizza.
I don't know what that would be.
Don't know either.
It's mostly just him talking really calmly into the microphone. Melly's making eggs or whatever. It's like, oh, pinch of salt here. Oh, take it off the heat. Oh, put it back on.
Yeah. I mean, I like most of the food he cooks.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty good. Amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's pretty intense too. So like, you wouldn't talk shit to his face. Pretty sure. Like he's like,
I don't know. I used to be a chef, and it does get stressful, really stressful. Like when I left school, I was a chef.
Okay,
That was my first job.
okay.
Dude, I never.
Wait, were you in culinary school or what school did you go to?
No, I was just self-taught. Like they taught me while I was there. That was literally it.
Hmm.
Yeah, all I had to do was pass hygiene courses. That was it. Which is easy.
Is that what you wanted to do? You thought?
Not really. I just did it because I had the opportunity to.
You had the opportunity. Did you start as like a line cook or?
First, I was an assistant, like just doing the pots and dishes, whatever, just washing them up. Then I started getting into assisting the chef, like cooking food, putting stuff on the fryer, putting like whatever needs to be done. And then I just decided I want to try it out fully, like actually try and be a chef. Huh. But yeah, no, that's really stressful. Yeah, I ain't doing that again.
Don't think you want to work in a restaurant anymore?
No. It's just horrible. You don't want to eat anything after you're done, which you should, but it's horrible.
I worked in restaurants.
Yeah.
It's either you're sick and you really want to do it, or you love food, or you feel like that's all you can do, or you're just like, fuck this, I'm out. And I was like the last thing, like, screw this, I don't want to do this anymore. It stinks in here. I don't like dealing with people. People are picky with their food. I certainly don't have passion for it.
Yeah,
and I was just like a waiter, and sometimes I would do prep work and stuff. But
yeah, of course.
I'm like, no.
You have to be super into it.
If I would ever be sick enough to want to like do that, I would almost have to be in some sort of a management role so I could oversee things, because I didn't like how things were run. So even as like a waiter, I'm like, well, you guys are leaving these salads in the salad bar out for like, we'd be like taking them out of the cooler and putting them back out for like 3 or 4 days. I'm like, I remember the one old lady, she came to me when she was, because these old people just like keep coming back to the restaurant even though it sucks.
Yeah.
She's like, when you go to put the salads in the morning, you need to taste them, and if they taste spicy, like these aren't spicy salads, it's like coleslaw or like if it tastes spicy, then you need to take it off the line. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Like, it's not my call, man. But my pay grade. Like,
God.
like the one thing the guy, the restaurant was hardly ever busy. And the guy always wanted us to dust. He wanted us to, like, dust the shelves. Like, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean, that type of thing.
Oh, God.
He had all these, like, knickknacks and shit up in the shelf. All they did was collect dust, literally. So he wants us to, like, get up there and dust them. Yeah, I'm getting paid, like, because the way it works here in the U.S., if you're doing a job where you earn tips, you don't have to be paid minimum wage.
Ah, jeez.
So I think I was making $2.95 an hour.
It's very competitive then, I take it.
For just jobs in general?
No, for like money.
Well,
I'd imagine so.
You would be definitely be incentivized to provide really good, like, over the top service to try to get tips from the few customers that you would serve. But yeah, you would get like a section in the restaurant, so you get tables 1 through 8 or something.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of how it worked. But it would be so dead that I'd be maybe the only waiter for the whole night. So I just, like, serve whoever came in, and then people that were in the bar too, even though I wasn't 21.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're fine as long as you know what you're doing. You know?
What's it like in the UK for if you were like a waiter or bartender or something? Is there like a minimum wage?
There's a national minimum wage. I think it's gone up recently. I'm pretty sure.
Do you have to
go on?
Do you have to be paid that, even if you're a bartender or a waiter?
Yeah.
You do. Okay.
You have to. But like when you get tips, some pubs do it where they get tips. They split it between the whole group.
Sure.
So it's like, when it comes to it, there's probably nothing left in there.
Yeah. Well, that's more of like a bartender thing, like splitting the tips. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's okay to do it as long as you're getting your wage, but tips are just like add-ons, more or less.
I can't believe that I like got the metric system thing wrong. That's kind of bugging me a little bit. I don't know why. I just assumed that you guys had that there.
Yeah, like we had Tim Tams too, and we Wellington.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting everything mixed up.
So good.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, because what I've been doing on the show, at least for people, because I met you through Twitch.
Yeah.
And probably through what, Adam Fellow or
Mr. Luigi.
Mr. Luigi?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh shit. Yeah. See, we kind of have this whole, like, I was calling kind of like an orbit. It's like the orbit of like the Blacklist. The Blacklist is like this team started by Smack, and he's kind of like, he was kind of like the guy that everybody anchored to. Everybody kind of watched him. But there were all these streamers that kind of launched, and they were friends of his. That's how it started. And then as Smack networked and made more friends, and as more people found him, he would add people to his team. And I was somebody, he added me to his team. And I was very grateful because it kind of gave me some purpose for streaming. There's several times where I've thought about quitting. And that was one of those times. It was very early on. It was like August 2013. So,
oh, damn. Jeez.
Anyway, yeah, him and obviously, like, Mr. Luigi was somebody who was in that orbit as well. So.
Yeah. I mean, the way I found Mr. Luigi was, do you remember C Nanas? You remember C Nanas?
Yes.
Yeah. He was live streaming. I think it was, I can't remember if it was Justin TV or was it Twitch. Yeah, it was probably Twitch at that
Depends
point.
on the year.
Yeah. I was just looking for people, like, once he stopped streaming DayZ Mud, I saw Miss Luigi on there. And that's why I was just chilling, was talking, and then I'm pretty sure he hosted you. I raided you or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Him and I used to jam out and play DayZ all the time.
Yeah. Oh, I was watching him play, what's it called now? Warzy, or is it Infestation Survivors?
Oh God, yeah. Sure.
I was watching him play that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Awful game. Not a fan.
I played it a bit, and you know what's funny? Like, when I stopped playing, I gave all of my items and stuff to Summit. Summit had like this little system where he would have his cronies, his friends. I guess crony sounds kind of like a bad term. I don't mind Summit. He's from Colorado.
Summit 1G or
Summit
the original
1G.
Summit? Okay. Yeah.
Wait, is there an original Summit?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a guy called Summit on
Oh, really?
Twitch, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Summit, like the 1G in Summit is like his old Counter-Strike club that he was
Clan,
in.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not even a clan. It was a club.
Oh,
Because
club.
they had these clubs on IRC, and if you're in the club, it's kind of like you do these like pickup games and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Just
And unless I'm
mans.
wrong, and it was a clan before, but I believe that this 1G or first generation, I believe that was just like a Counter-Strike club.
First
So you
gen.
just like put that on your tag. So there'd be people on multiple teams that have 1G, but he just like kept it for.
Yeah.
And then he just like IRC really wasn't a thing anymore after 1.6 kind of died.
Yeah.
Once CS:GO got started, there were other like social media places and stuff to.
Yeah.
And plus CS:GO has its own matchmaking, so people kind of stopped doing the like IRC thing to find.
Yeah, people still do it. People still do Pop Wars. I'm pretty sure that's a thing too, where they just like pick up 10 mans and everything like that, like join servers.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Oh sure, yeah.
It's still kind of similar.
Anyway, so I gave all my stuff to him. I never played that game again.
God.
And then whatever that company is, they wanted to just try to like relaunch their game in different forms, or they tried to make like that other horrible game. Damn, it's called like Nether or something.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I've played that.
Yeah,
that's when you're in that post-apocalyptic world. I think Valiant gifted me that when it came out.
yeah, it quickly went to like being even maybe sold in like Walmart in like the value bin or something.
Oh damn, yeah.
When you go to Walmart, there's this giant bin of like movies for like $5.
Yeah, we have similar stuff like that here too.
It's crazy.
You see relics in there. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's a very nostalgic look through, but it's nothing you want to buy now.
What is nostalgic to you when it comes to like movies or games? What's like really iconic to you when you were a kid?
Twister.
It can be really like general, like a system, or just like
Twister, the movie. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah. Dude, I was so young when I watched that. War of the Worlds when I watched that. The Matrix.
Okay.
Jumanji. Talked about that the other day.
Okay. Solid choices. Twister is like one of those like so random.
Yeah, dude.
My dad loved that movie.
Yeah, my dad did too. I remember him putting it on. I was so infatuated. I was like, oh my god, this is cool. And looking back at it now, it's like, oh jeez. It's just a nostalgic thing.
Sure. The Matrix for sure for me.
Yeah.
What got you into like who or what got you into gaming? Like
I was very athletic when I was younger. Like I was always into extreme sports and normal sports. I played football for a while, for a long soccer, just to clarify. But also did
that's not where my head went.
Also did BMXing, skateboarding, rollerblades. But on a BMX, I guess I cracked my ribs. I was like bedbound for like 2 weeks. And I remember having this Xbox. I hardly played it at the time. And my buddy gave me Call of Duty 4. And I managed to get the Ethernet cable all the way into my bedroom. And dude, I was just hooked. I just loaded up Call of Duty 4, played online. I was just hooked from there on out. Hardly did anything like else athletic after that. It was just, it wasn't in moderation.
Your first experience playing games, it wasn't mouse keyboard, it was on an Xbox controller, the Duke.
Yeah, it was. But
the big controller.
I moved on to PC gaming quite fast after that. Well, I say PC gaming. I was playing DayZ mod on a laptop, getting like 50 FPS and Electra. But yeah, that's where like PC gaming got me started. Like my granddad, like I only knew him for like 2 years. Like he came into our lives late, then left so early. He died to throat cancer, but he bought me a laptop before he passed, and I was just that's kind of what got me into.
I mean, how did that even play out? Like how did you only meet him? Well, like later on.
My nan and him split up a while ago, and he just went wherever. He just disappeared, and he started his own family. He fostered two sons and a daughter. He had 2 sons and a daughter, foster. And the funny thing is, he lived one house down from us, and we didn't even know. It was wild. And then one day, when it was my mother's birthday, he got in touch with her, and then it was just we just started talking from there, and it's crazy, honestly.
I guess it's kind of fortunate if he was a good guy, that you got to know him.
Yeah, I mean,
at least for a while.
It's okay. I mean,
it's okay.
He went in and out of jail quite a bit. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe was it the laptop he gave you wasn't like.
No, it wasn't.
All right, keep it on the down low.
It wasn't like that.
No, I'm just kidding.
He gave me the money to buy it, and I was like,
right
okay. He was probably just trying to make up for like last time and stuff. But
yeah, I mean, so be it. You can only be sort of, you can only serve so much time, either literally or figuratively. Like eventually you should be allowed to have some sort of redemption. Unless, there's certain things that are unforgivable, but just kind of being absent, I think that, well, how did your mom feel about it?
My mom was honestly happy. She's happy.
She's happy?
Yeah, she's very happy. She's a very forgiving person, so.
Okay. Well, that's pretty sweet. That's good. Yeah. I mean, better than the opposite, to where like my well, see, I'm to the point where my stepmom passed like 11 years ago, and when it came time to, her and I had such an awful relationship that when she passed, my dad called me, and I was very kind of sympathetic to him because that was the second wife that he had lost in his lifetime. It's really rough.
Yeah,
that was the love of his life. That was the love of his life at the time. But my biological mom, that was the true love of his life. I still believe that. But my stepmom and I had a very contentious relationship. I left home before I graduated high school, and I was in trouble and stuff. But I straightened my life out. Yeah. I straightened my life out, as soon as I turned 18, because I was always just I was like, I do not want to go to jail. I do not want to have a record.
No.
So my record's squeaky clean, and but with her, like when she passed, like I didn't go to her funeral or anything. And I had heard that she wanted to reconcile and stuff. But I didn't bite at the chance. I was like, nope. I know how you treated me the last time. Yeah. I saw you, which was a long time ago. You haven't made any effort since to say or do anything to help or invite me to holidays or anything like that. Yeah. And I was a piece of shit to you then, and it wasn't like I'm glad that you died or anything. Like I was just all I could think of was my dad. And how he felt. And I didn't have a relationship with my younger sisters because of my stepmom, and I really believe that. And it's taken me a long time to actually build a relationship with my younger sisters. And it's weird because they have a much different view of her because they were treated much differently, So it's something that we don't really talk about. I think eventually we're going to have to.
Yeah, definitely have to. You have to get out in the open. They'll probably feel a lot better, and you'll probably feel a lot better. But
I think that they've taken some of the good parts of my stepmom's personality, which is that they are sensitive people, right? But they also they're not afraid of confrontation and stuff like that. Like I could bring stuff up to them, and they will talk about it. I don't know. It's just something. It's something that I've avoided just because I feel like there's more important things, Both of my younger sisters had they had babies in the same year, same year that my dad passed. They both were pregnant, and they both gave birth the same year. So that they got young kids, and it's kind of a lot. So
yeah, it's definitely a lot. It's a lot to take in.
And those little guys are 3 years old this year, and
that's awesome.
I guess that was kind of like a missing link to your family.
Yeah.
And but then you lost him so soon, but he's kind of like tied to some of your interests. Like he kind of got you started playing games. Kinda.
He did.
Man, do you think about him a lot for that reason?
Yeah, I do actually. I think about it quite a bit. Like If I didn't get that laptop, I don't think I'd probably be on my PC now. I don't
Yeah.
know. I probably would be,
Yeah.
but you
Who
never know.
knows?
But
I mean, maybe your friends would have got you into it, but
yeah, I was always that guy trying to get our friends to do stuff. So they weren't really. They just chill on Xbox. They were simple people. They just didn't like to mess with anything.
huh.
It's like when people just first look at PC building and they assume it's so hard when it's literally just like Lego.
Oh
Just put
yeah,
the
it's
things
it's
together.
gotten so much easier. My first
Yeah.
PC that I built was in like 2002.
Oh damn.
Yeah, but back then I remember I was like scared of a lot of things,
Right.
and
Oh
I
yeah.
was scared to build it. So I had this guy I knew from high school who who may have sold some illegal substances on the side, which I found out after he didn't
Jeez.
like give me a heads up. He's just
Yeah.
like, but he's like straight up like almost genius guy. You know, he's a genius guy, but he's like working at the car wash. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like
Yeah,
he was
he's
just like
just-
content to live just in like squalor, basically, which means he's
Oh,
like
damn.
just dirt poor, you know.
Man.
Like he couldn't afford to pay his electric bill, you know. But selling
What?
selling weed didn't make a lot of money in Fargo, North Dakota, it turns out.
Oh, jeez.
But no, he's like building my PC, or no, he already had it built, and we were like, he's like, oh, we got to burn it in, you know, which is kind of a fallacy. Like you leave it on for 24 hours to see see if it blue screens. But he just wanted to like play games on it before I took it.
Oh,
Like I was probably lucky. I was probably lucky to get it. Like he might have said like, oh, somebody came by and then I left for a minute and then it was gone.
Oh, jeez. He gave you that excuse.
Yeah.
What were your specs back in the day? What was the specs?
Oh, well, I'll tell you in a second because I got to tell you how I found out how he was selling a little green on the side. I don't even remember what we were doing. We were just like looking. We were just like loading up a game. He was like marveling at how it was running because I don't know, it was better than his PC. But then this guy comes by. He doesn't even knock. He just comes in. He's like, "Hey man, what's up?" I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" "Hey, I'm Dan." He's like didn't want to tell me his name. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, great.
Who is this guy? Like, what? and then I'm gonna change his name. Like Dave goes over and he like opens up the printer and then he pulls out this baggie. And like I kind of knew that he smoked, but that's not a big deal.
Yeah,
But like selling it, that's like a totally different type of thing, man.
Yeah,
he just like opens it up.
You don't want to get caught up in that, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then he like gives them a 20 or something, you know, hands them the stuff. Leaves. I'm like, but then again, man, like I'm like a kid from a farm, you know? Like I don't like should I object? Like I didn't know. Like, should I object? Should I not? I'm like, I tried to pass all it's cool, man. It's cool.
I mean, you have to act cool. When you're like that young, you think you gotta act cool because you don't know what the situation would turn out to be. I mean, specifically, well, considering you come from a farm, you don't see a lot of that, would you?
No, not at
all. In the UK,
it's
quite, dude. There's so much of it in the UK. It's ridiculous. Yeah, there's a lot of drug deals.
Do you think that like prohibition has a lot to do with that? Is there like a big push to crack down on, like, how severe is it if somebody gets caught with like a little bit of weed?
You get warnings. That's it.
Warnings.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. They started to legalize CBD in the UK for like medicinal
legalize
oils.
CBD. That's hilarious,
dude. Yeah,
because like CBD has no psychoactive properties to it.
Yeah, I mean, but
good lord,
it's just the UK, man. They're so strict on everything.
You can grow hemp over there though, right?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't really looked into it.
It's hilarious if you can't. Anyway, no, my first PC was like, I remember I had a 4600 Ti.
Oh damn.
So, and then what else? It had some kind of AMD processor. Like I had like 80 gig hard drive, and like
oh yeah, back then, yeah.
Which I mean, I think it was two 40 gig hard drives running in a RAID 0 array.
Wow.
But then, like my girlfriend at the time, like she'd get drunk and stuff, and she like poured a beer on our power supply, I think.
Oh,
and then like, and it shorted out, and then like my whole PC got nuked except for my video card, I think.
Wow,
it's like things started to fail.
No.
Yeah.
God,
so, and my hard drives are the first thing to fail.
Yeah.
So lost everything there. bummer.
Yeah, that's
Eventually I rebuilt, but I mean, I don't want to go into the technical side of it. I mean, I barely knew anything about PCs, but I think the point of all that, minus like the drug dealing and shit, is like PCs have gotten a lot easier to build. Back
They
then,
definitely have, yeah.
we were afraid to put the like the hardest part was putting the like the cooler on because into the socket, because you didn't want to press, you had to press kind of hard, but you didn't want to press too hard. It was one of those things. It was, see, I don't know if I trust Dave. To tell me things, but he was like, oh man. But then I also heard it from my friend Barry, who I can use his real name because he's legit.
Yeah.
And like, I think that I heard from him too. He's like, yeah, oh yeah, you got to be careful when you're putting the cooler on, you know.
Was it like clip on or was it screw in?
I think it clipped on. Yeah, it clipped on. So you had to press a little hard to get the fucker on there.
Yeah, I'd be scared to just crack the motherboard or the CPU.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm still like that now.
Yeah.
I get
now my freaking my Threadripper had a torque wrench. Like it just like turn it until it stops, then you're freaking good.
Damn. Yeah. Like even now, like when I recently built my PC, I just like anxiety the whole time, like for like a week straight. I always think like I've done something wrong. It's like God.
Oh, I know. But as long as you got warranties, like as long as you didn't do anything too major. Yeah, I've had to RMA like one or two things ever, knock on wood, like you know, like. And the one thing I found out that I RMA'd, it was because I like put a cable in the wrong place, and like I thought that the fan stopped, but it was like one of the cables was like stopping the fan.
Okay.
But I had already done the RMA, so like I just let it go. I'm like, okay, well,
yeah,
this is fine.
Yeah,
the card's not actually broken. It's just me being an idiot.
No, I mean the most problem I've had with like PCs in general is just hard drives. That's it. Like every PC I built, I don't think it's broke. Like normally something dies like after a while, like a hard drive. That was literally a stick of RAM too. That literally it did, yeah. It actually fried my motherboard.
Oh like, shit! A stick of RAM fried your motherboard?
Yeah, bro. It like I don't know what it did, but I couldn't turn my PC on. I was like, what happened? It like blue screen. I don't remember what game I was playing. I think I was trying to play DayZ. I'm pretty sure. I'd always get memory issues on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I took one stick of RAM out and then tried to boot it up again. It'd boot up, but it'd just be blue screen.
Oh. Yeah, my previous computer, it was like fine, but it would have problems starting up. Like and getting it to shut down, a lot of times I'd have to manually power it off and back on, and then like something with the BIOS, I would have to unplug the power completely for like 5 seconds and then plug it back in, and then it'd be good to go. I don't know. It was some kind of weird thing with the motherboard, but I knew it was like a ticking time bomb. Like eventually that thing, one time it's just not going to boot up.
Yeah. It's just waiting to happen. Well, isn't that kind of like a reset? Like sometimes that happens on Asus motherboards. Like
this is a Gigabyte.
Yeah. Like there's LED, like it was constantly stuck on like LED loading. Like updating, blah blah blah, and you literally had to keep restarting the PSU.
Dude, nothing has changed with PCs. There's always been such like unique issues. You ever had like a LAN party?
I have.
Bring PCs.
Sadly,
you haven't. Oh man, you haven't lived. We used to have LAN parties in like a hotel. It would be like in a hotel basement in like a little conference room. People would just bring their own. You bring your own. It's called a BYOC. Bring your own computer. You just hook up, and there would be people there, like network admins. Generally, people that worked in IT would set these things up, and it was just for fun. It wasn't for profit or anything.
Yeah.
They'd maybe get a little local sponsor. They could give away gifts and stuff. Pay a fee, hook up your computer, and freaking play all night long. Play Counter-Strike or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And super fun.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where like internet cafes just originated from, more or less.
Yeah,
like,
internet cafes aren't a big thing there. Are they big where you're at?
Some of them are pretty big, but yeah, it's not something I'd go to, in my opinion.
I don't know. If you didn't do that as a kid, like, why would you go? Like, why would you find the need to go there?
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't trust it anywhere. The network you'd be on, unsecure networks, just in case. Nah.
A lot of people wouldn't think of it that way.
Nah, I don't know. I don't trust people that well, so I just assume the worst.
Where do you think that comes from?
Anxiety.
Anxiety. Okay.
Yeah.
You've dealt with anxiety since you were
Young, honestly.
oh,
I just never confronted it.
huh.
Never
Is it? Do
confronted
you
it.
think was there like some sort of a trigger for you like what was there like a traumatic thing that happened when you were
Uh,
real young?
I honestly, I don't recall anything like that. It's just I was very shy as a kid, very
Hmm.
shy. So I don't know. But I mean, I could have picked it up off people like my mom. My mom suffers with anxiety bad as well,
Oh
but
yeah.
I don't suffer it as much anymore. Well, it's like social anxiety. I don't suffer it much anymore. Or depression. Like I had social anxiety and depression, but I don't know. It's just like I'm actually getting like mentally strong now. I want to be. I always put myself in situations where I feel uncomfortable. That's when
It's
you most
good.
progress. When you're most uncomfortable.
I think that's great. I think that's great, and I think that you know these things can come from genetics, and
Hmm.
there can be certain triggers, and I guess it's good that you don't remember it as long as it's not something that like you revisit all the time,
Yeah.
where you just
No.
like don't know what's causing these things, and like you feel like you're out of control.
Yeah. No.
You're actually putting yourself in like a power position where you can sort of use sort of exposure therapy on your own to like
Yeah.
say, oh yeah, I can do this, and once you know you can do it, like it's not a big deal.
Yeah. It's just when you're at that stage, you just need to acknowledge you have social anxiety and depression. If you acknowledge it and like you know what the outcome's gonna be, if you just push on, the more and more you do it, the better you'll get at it. You won't
Yeah,
feel it as much. You won't,
yeah.
or it's
Y-
just total mind games with it.
Yeah.
It's,
You know, being on the internet and being around people with similar problems, it's like, holy shit, you guys also have these same problems. That's helped me a
yeah,
bit, and actually streaming and being able to just talk and like it's not stuff that and it actually helped me open up to my friends and family
mm-hmm.
about stuff too. You know, because well, I've had a lot of like shame. I've had a lot of shame, and I think that comes from my childhood.
Yeah.
Just being disciplined really hard, and like
Oh
you know your
damn.
grades are bad, you're
Yeah.
gaining weight. I don't know, like you're misbehaving. All of that means you get to your room and you like don't get to do anything.
Yeah.
You
It's
don't
just
get to see anybody.
isolation. Yeah.
Yeah, you just get isolated. So like, I have a lot of those. Have a lot of that in my history, but being able to open up about it's helped a ton because it takes a little weight off. And
Yeah. It really does.
even though these things are like continuing to, I'm freaking, you know, I'm 37 years old, and like these things continue to be a part of my life. They're not as big of a part, and I don't feel like for a long time I felt stuck. I felt
Yeah.
stuck, and
I know what you
it would
mean.
make
Yeah.
me anxious when at my job I would get stressed. I would
Yeah.
just be like, well, everybody, it was like me versus the world. It felt like,
Yeah, it's just like you get so overwhelmed. I know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, and
It's
I would lash out at family too. Family
yeah,
is trying to
dude.
help. Yeah,
Yeah, you have to. It's not like you have to, but it's like it just comes out of you. You don't mean it. It just happens. Just
yeah.
because of the way you're feeling. I've been there. I know what you mean.
Mm, mm.
Like
It's tough.
God.
It's tough. But you know what's nice about going through all of that is it gives me sort of empathy for others. When you see someone that's like that,
Yeah.
you're not immediately like, "Damn, this guy's freaking crazy." It's like, well,
You
we
start to
all
understand
are.
them more. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you can't understand exactly what someone's going through, but
No, but like you get the gist.
you can't make you don't make as many assumptions about. You're more like curious, you know, or maybe have a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more. I guess you can be a little bit nicer to someone who's you know going through some shit.
Yeah,
But
for
it's
sure.
like here, road rage is a big deal. I don't know if it
Oh,
is there, but
yeah.
you know,
No,
there's
not.
traffic congestion and people lose it pretty easy. And it's easy to like fall into that too, but you don't know what the other person's going through. You definitely
Yeah,
don't want to engage. And like, I
but
just kind of like smile and wave, you know. It's like
yeah, it's
I
just
hate. I'll curse a little bit too, but you know.
yeah, it's just the retaliation now. Retaliation inside. It's hard not to, but you just gotta look
Mm,
past that.
definitely, definitely.
God.
So, like, how has it been for you? Because you're pretty young yet.
Mm.
Like being on Twitch, discovering DayZ mod. I guess maybe before I ask that question, I want to know. This is interesting for people. A lot of us went through that time in like was it like 2012? Were you into DayZ mod? Like, obviously, you had to have been like right away
Yeah, yeah,
that first year.
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was that for you? Did you have a group of friends that you played with, or did you have to
No,
seek people out?
I was just solo, bro.
Oh
Like,
shit.
I'd be on my Xbox talking to my friends while I'm just on my laptop playing it alone. Because no one had like
Damn.
PCs back then that I
Yeah.
used to talk to. There's only a couple that actually moved over to PC, but that's it. Yeah, no, I was solo. Like, the only real person I started talking to on DayZ was, God, there's a guy called, you might know him. He's like Just Reckless 94.
Yeah,
Do you
I
remember
remember
him?
that name. Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
name.
Like, I remember seeing him in a server once after watching like Adam's stream. I was like, damn, it's you. I was like, we just met up in China. I still remember it vividly. We met up in China. We just went around, sneaking around, trying to find loot.
Oh shit. What if that dude just like met up with you and murked you and took your shit? He's like, fuck you.
God, I don't know. That's how the game was, though. Everyone
Yeah.
just had their own agendas.
No, honestly, I don't mean that, but like, like people were like really. What was cool about that time is like people did want to be what we call like friendly. I
Yeah.
guess I don't know. I don't know. Like a lot of people that listen to this are gonna know what DayZ mod is, but it's interesting to look at how it was like a kind of like a psychological experience, not experience, experiment. It
Experiment,
was
yeah, definitely.
a psychological experiment to see what happens when you put players into a world where resources are kind of scarce and you give them the option. There's no there's no like agenda. There's no like end to the game. There's
Mm-mm.
no there's no set goal.
Just
It's
loot
just
up and just,
here's your
yeah.
character, here's the world. You can use your movement keys and move around and try to survive, and you can choose how you interact with people. And obviously everyone hates zombies. They want to kill the zombies. There's
Yeah.
zombies everywhere. But you
Yeah.
choose whether you're going to be a hero
Or a bandit.
or a bandit or somewhere in between, or you're a scumbag, and
Yeah.
like you pretend to be friendly and then
Until
kill
they get a
people.
good gun and then rip.
Yep, that's
That
happened
that
before.
that
It's happened a
happened
lot.
so much to me.
Yeah. So where did you fall in that alignment, do you feel like, as a solo player from the beginning? Like what was the thing?
I don't really know. I like talked a lot. I tried to talk it out a lot. You
Oh
know when you
really?
get someone in a building, you've got them pinned down.
Yeah.
I tried to
Hmm.
talk it out a lot, but most of the time it just ends up in gunfights on that
Huh.
game.
Did you pick up the gunplay pretty easy? Were you pretty skilled?
I played a lot of COD 4 Pro mod before that, so like I knew how like
Hmm.
gun mechanics worked on
Hmm. But
PC at
you
least.
were kind of did you at least have like a mouse that you had hooked up to
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
laptop? Yeah, okay.
I wasn't playing on trackpad.
Dude, I played on trackpad when I was in first year of college. We played trackpad, and eventually I got a mouse. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's we were playing Counter Strike in the freaking we were playing like Counter Strike in econ class, against
Damn.
everybody.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I specifically remember I'm like this dirt cheap mouse. Like the DPI on it was awful. Like it'd be so blocky moving your mouse across, you just notice it.
Oh
I just remember
man,
playing
that's
like that,
rough.
but
That is rough.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I enjoyed it back then. It's very nostalgic to look back on.
Hmm. Well, what was like the things that drew you to it? Was it the sort of like the unknown? Was it the PvP? What did you do the thing where you like squirrel away a lot of resources, try to make like a base, or
No, I
was it
never made
just like
bases.
going to Electro and Cherno, trying to get in some action?
It's kind of both. I guess I was just like a nomad on the game. Like I
Hmm.
wouldn't have an inventory where I'd want to save it. I just go in like towards the end when I got more experience, obviously, but I'd want to fight players just to get better purely. Like I'd go into Electro on like 20 FPS, try to fight, and then
Shit,
I'd always try and make my way up to Northwest Airfield mainly.
sure.
Yeah, that was the
But
hot spot,
what's your
bro.
path? What's your path? Like, where do you want to spawn, and like where do you go to get your stuff?
So yeah, I was like spawning Berzino. Berzino
Bearzino. Okay, that's up in the
was my
northeast.
jam. Yeah,
Yep.
northeast. I was like
And then
Berzino. I always got a lot. There was a bug where you just constantly spawn at Berzino at one
oh
time.
shit.
Yeah.
Then like where you go like Gorka, Krasnostav,
Yeah.
something
Jeez,
like
dude.
that. Northeast
Yeah.
Airfield.
I wouldn't really go northeast of that field.
Mm. There's not much there.
No, it was just quite
Yeah.
barren. Unless you were
Yeah.
playing modded server, then there's a ton of barracks there. That's
Oh
it.
really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, do you feel like modded DayZ was like the beginning of the end?
Not for me.
Not for
It
you.
it opened me up to a lot of new games more than anything.
Well, DayZ, it's funny because DayZ is a mod, but there were mods of the mod, and what I'm talking about specifically is like the highly militarized stuff. I feel like it was a good complement to it,
Yeah.
and you know, Mr. Luigi and I played on this server called Vehicle Galore,
When it's
and
just like 200 plus.
it was just
Yeah.
chaos. It was super fun. It reminded me of like the Arma 2 Wasteland days, which like I got into Arma 2 Wasteland like sometime around the same time as I might have played. That might have been the first thing I played in Arma 2,
Oh,
other than just
damn.
yeah.
I never
But it
played
was
it.
fucking fun. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you would actually be on like teams. You'd have
Mm-hmm.
Blue 4, Op 4, and then Independent. And
Yeah.
then
I played it
yeah.
since.
Yeah,
Played it on
it's
Arma 3.
so good. Oh yeah, I mean Arma 3 Wasteland is not a good representation of what it was.
No.
There's just something about the vehicle and weapon balance and the maps and stuff. It just doesn't quite feel like you feel like you're like a giant that destroys everything in Arma 3 for some reason, because everything is just so brutal and like kills in one shot.
Yeah. The
And
jets that fly around, the helis,
yeah, and
the
like
RPGs.
vehicles are fucking like indestructible unless you have like a tank or something.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Yeah,
most of the
but
time you'd spawn with a quad bike, wouldn't you?
oh
So,
yeah, yeah. But still,
yeah.
like in Arma 2, it just felt really cool, and it felt like people actually did attempt to like build these bases, and then you would do raids, and then you'd fight over the missions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was Chernarus, and Chernarus is just iconic.
Yeah, very.
Could you agree with that? Like
Yeah.
best
Best
map,
map.
like most iconic. Yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah.
Namask was up there with mine too, though.
Oh
I love
shit,
Namask.
Namalsk.
Yeah. Namask was my
Really?
thing. Yeah. I just remember
Hmm.
watching Frankie in 1080p on
Yeah.
PC. I remember
Hmm.
seeing him on that map. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
that's like a map I could get behind. I was
Yeah.
just hooked on that map. I'd play that map a lot.
What about Panthera? Underrated?
Nah, I didn't play it that much, honestly.
No.
No.
Yeah,
I
for
don't even
me,
remember it that
and
much.
Lingor underrated too. I mean, not like the
Yeah.
best design, but really really badass. Lingor was like
Yeah.
one of the first
Tropical.
custom maps. Yeah.
Yeah, it was dope. I like Lingo too.
Hmm.
Lingo, I'm pretty sure when I started watching you, you were, I don't remember, you were on Lingo testing
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. I mean, I got into playing DayZ Epoch, because I kind of made friends with the developers,
Hmm.
and I started as a tester, and that mod, just kind of blew up, and it was
It did.
really really fun. It kind of gave me a good perspective on what it's like for developers, even on like a small scale like that. It really
Hmm.
got me interested in development processes, not like learning how to code, but just
Yeah,
like
but like,
understanding how this shit works
yeah. I mean,
at a
Sequisha was a big
base
part of
level.
that, wasn't it? Was
What's that?
Sequisha a part of that?
Oh
What's
yeah,
Sequisha part?
Sequisha.
Yeah.
Sequisha came in. He approached AWOL. He like wanted to help,
Yeah.
and AWOL was like, "Oh, what do you got? Here's what we need. Here, try and make this." And he
Yeah.
made.
I always remember his modeling streams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, shit. AWOL. AWOL was like, "Well, we need like fish or something," and Squeeze was like, "All right." He came out because we were putting fishing poles into the game. I think Squeeze made all the models up
Yeah.
until like in Arma 3. They got some help, but yeah, he made everything. Well, that's not true. I think that there were some other. They had some help from maybe one or two people, but Squeeze made the bulk majority of stuff.
Yeah.
It was like the fish was one of the things. As soon as AWOL saw that the Squeeze could like work on his own without needing much help, like he
Hmm.
maybe need a little bit of help getting stuff into game, but just making the models, he was like, "Oh shit, this guy's killer. Like he can hold his salt. Like he knows what the hell's going on."
Yeah, it
And
did. That was,
yeah, freaking yeah, the rest is history. Squeeze
yeah.
was working. I think he was working like full time and still doing stuff with the mod, and like he was just good,
Streaming.
diligent,
Yeah.
freaking just. Well, the streaming thing for Sequisha didn't start right away, but he
No?
had that it factor. Like even like the early days, he could hold people there. He was interesting to watch.
He definitely had the potential in, for sure.
Yeah,
Well, he does,
and
clearly.
and he had skills in the game too. He could He could do PvP. He could kill people. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun being in groups with him back then, and just really interesting dude. Really liked his art style, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I could talk about Squeezer for a while, but you know, I mean that's
Yeah.
how he got his start. He just kind of volunteered, and so if somebody volunteers, because nobody's getting paid for this stuff.
Yeah, no.
If somebody volunteers and they can work on their own, AWOL's like, let's do it. You know,
Yeah, so be
let's do it.
it.
Let's see what you
Go
got.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I only played with like Adam and Valid a few times back on DayZ mod.
Yeah.
So
I know.
I only started playing with him when it was just like ending more or less. I was always in his stream, Adam's stream, but then Armor 3 BR came around. Then that's
Sure.
when I really started playing Armor a lot. I was hooked on that.
Yeah.
But it got so dry.
In Arma 2 or Arma 3?
Armor 3.
Yeah, see, it started in Arma 2.
Yeah.
But
it's one where the zombies would constantly spawn on you if you're outside the zone. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that.
It was a lot different, but from the beginning, PlayerUnknown, he wanted it to be a thing for streamers, you know. He wanted it to be this like event, and it was fun, you know. It was fun to get viewers involved, and it was just like streamers, like you want to be able to engage the chat, and the chat always wants to be a part of the experience, and that BR thing. Yeah, he would give streamers like, he'd give you like a code so you'd have control of the server, and like, well, control to a point. Like you'd be able to go in and spectate after you died and stuff. Yeah. So that was pretty badass, man.
Yeah, that was a thing in Arma 3 BR too.
Sure. Yeah. No, I've said, you know, it started in Arma 2, but it continued, and it continued into Battlegrounds too. Like he always wanted the streamers to be the reason why the game existed, really. But in the back of his mind, I mean, because PlayerUnknown and that ever since like Arma 3, he's been kind of like tied. He's been well, at least at that time, like he's always been tied to DayZ mod, and you know, I was involved with Epoch, and like I actually introduced him to AWOL back then, and AWOL helped him get his mod off the ground. And AWOL's like, he's like the godfather of mods when it comes to like things that are like DayZ mod, right? Things like survival mods. He's the guy, you know.
Yeah, and I don't even know where you'd start with that. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you know, the point is, like back then, you know, Brendan, he wanted it to be. He mentioned that he wanted it to be like an esport someday, and AWOL's like, wait, what? I thought you said it was going to be a game mode. Like, you're talking about like you want this to be like a competitive thing. He said that sounds like an expansion, you know, because there's like a different thing in between. Because like a mod is kind of like, well, I don't even know if I'm using the right terminology because it's been a while since I've been paying attention. But basically, there's like a game mode in Arma would be like this tiny file that you would download from the server, and like an expansion or a full conversion mod or whatever, you'd actually have to download something separately. Now there's Steam Workshop that you get it from. But back then, it was like you'd have to get it from somewhere.
Yeah, Steam wasn't really optimized for like mods and everything.
Yeah, because you couldn't host large files, but now you can. No. So Steam Workshop is the thing.
Plus, you have to use like separate launchers to get the mods to work.
Yeah, right.
Man, that leads back to what is it? Survivor games.
Yeah, no, definitely, absolutely. Yeah. No, I'm glad that you noticed that. Yeah, I mean, Survivor games was the genesis of it.
Yeah, it really
absolutely.
Was.
And if not, like, you know, like Hunger Games in Minecraft, but
yeah, true. I mean, that took off quite a bit too.
Yeah, but no, it was kind of based off of Hunger Games, you know, from talking to Lou, who is one of the people who was around. Like, he was kind of part of the team when it came to that. You know, getting Survivor Games off the ground. You know, Survivor Games, which is now like owned by Bohemia.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Where is that now? Like, where does that stand? Like, do people play it?
I don't think so. I really don't.
Huh.
I mean, I haven't seen anything
one of those forgotten things.
Yeah, but I mean, it paved the way. It definitely paved the way.
But now is it something that you can just play anytime now?
I don't
know. Even understand. I don't understand. I don't know. I feel like I want to look it up.
Let's go for it, man.
I'm gonna look it up really quick. Survivor games.
I'm pretty
Because
sure DayZ did
or
something. The standalone did something about it.
Survivor games. Where does it? Hold on, I gotta look it up. DayZ Survivor games.
Oh yeah, they
DayZ.
did. They did. I remember because Adam was asking me once because he got
Oh,
a.
when is it returning though? Oh, I see. So Survivor Games, they had an open alpha, and on the
Mhm.
webpage it says the open alpha of Survivor Games has ended and the game mode is no longer publicly available. We won't see Survivor Games itself in the near future, although some elements may appear in some of our games. That's weird,
Well,
but
that
okay.
answers that. What? That's
Yeah,
strange.
that's a strange thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean Survivor Games was really cool, and it actually was in the sort of up and coming phase of Twitch itself.
It
And
was. Yeah.
and it proved that like that some of these things that were like community events, like somebody could organize an event and you could attract thousands and thousands of viewers.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah, it was so cool. And it actually it helped kind of expose some of these guys that were already kind of up and coming streamers to a
Like
larger audience.
Lyric, in my opinion. I feel like
Yeah.
Lyric blew up a lot off Armor 2 DayZ.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I mean,
It's really cool.
so did
Really
Summit
cool.
too.
Yeah, it's really cool and it's really important. And it hasn't. They have these like Twitch rivals and stuff, but
Mhm.
everything is it's such a clusterfuck on Twitch nowadays.
Yeah, it
Maybe in a
really
good
is.
way, there's like something for everybody, but it's not as impactful as Survivor Games was
No, it's
because nothing existed before it. The same way that
yeah,
DayZ mod is impactful because nothing existed like it before it.
yeah, no. It's just the new things that come out. I guess like the young generation probably think that about like Fortnite right now.
Sure,
They
sure,
probably think that's like
yeah.
what we think's DayZ mod. But you know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
guess
Just
it's all about perspective and what you saw before, but
yeah,
there's a certain sector of us that 2012 was the year of DayZ mod, and where we probably all almost lost our jobs and like failed out of school or whatever
just
because of
pure
the game.
addiction. Yeah, pure addiction to the game.
Yeah,
There's so much things you could do on there. It's so open worlded. So
yeah,
yeah, it's great.
yeah. The whole like sandbox thing. Obviously, you hadn't really experienced that before.
Yeah, no.
No Minecraft, nothing like that.
It wasn't like that. Like I
No,
played Minecraft, but it's still not the same feel as what
nah,
DayZ mod would be.
no.
Yeah,
But DayZ has opened you up to other open world games. Obviously,
yeah, for sure.
see, DayZ led me to Minecraft, which led me to whatever else I play now, you know?
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
survival games.
I'm still not over it, but I still
No.
but yet I get burnt out. And the thing that bums me out is the crew, man. The gang, the hang, the people that I used to hang with a lot.
Yeah,
It's hard to agree on a game now.
yeah, I feel that. It's everyone's got their own different tastes now. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's like
Yeah.
when I used to play Call of Duty back in the day. Like everyone would be about it, right? And then everyone would just go separate. Everyone would start playing different stuff
Oh,
like Battlefield and everything.
okay.
It's just
Yeah.
you just remember those moments after they've gone though. It's
Yeah,
kind of
sure.
sad.
What did what was it like for you? You had a group of friends that played in Xbox, you know, the Xbox
Yeah.
universe, whatever games you're playing, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of those people come over to PC and like did you how has like gaming in that you think feel like it's helped your anxiety? Has it like helped kind of
So
mold
yeah,
you a little bit socially or
nah. I mean, I feel like
no?
it's. I don't think so because being social is totally different. I feel like when you're not doing anything in public, like talking to people, you don't pick up on like body language. Like your brain's not developed in that sense of
Sure.
you can't pick up signals of
Yeah.
what the other person's saying or eye contact or
Hmm.
it's hard to do that. But when you're talking behind like a microphone, it's a lot easier because there's none of that. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So
You know,
I don't think it's
yeah,
helped me
no,
that much.
I would tend to agree with you, but I guess my question was more aimed at the fact that you had some of these anxieties before and you said that now you're able to kind of face some of those fears and challenge
Hmm.
yourself. Like how did that get started? I guess I incorrectly assumed that like gaming had helped you with some of that, but like what has helped you then? Like what got you to the point where you're able to put yourself out there more?
I mean, it's just support from family mainly.
Hmm.
Like they help me a lot, but not in terms of like social. They just help me in terms of like actually being able to feel better in the sense that I wouldn't have to work straight away, which was, dude, I was like job hopping a lot. Like I just wasn't facing it. Like I'd go to a job, I'd feel like it's crap, but it was just all mental to me.
Oh,
And to have these like 2 years, I think, to reflect on like what I got to do to get, into the public and not feel the way I do, or not
yeah.
get overwhelmed with feelings over
Huh.
such nonsense, what I consider it now. But it's
Dude,
it's
I think,
hard. Yeah.
yeah. Dude, I think that's so beautiful that your family has supported you in that way because, like,
Yeah.
where would you be without them?
I know. It's hard to. It's just when before that you don't notice, you don't think so. Because I kept it. I just kept it like a secret. I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was just the way I was,
Mm,
so to speak, until I
right.
actually like told them about it,
Oh,
and then yeah, they just helped me from there on,
huh.
like a
But you do,
lot.
I mean, you do model yourself after your parents, and like your mom had kind of the same things going on. I'm assuming she was kind of like the more influential to you. Is that fair? You think? You think your
Mm,
mom or your dad?
my mom more than anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it because you talk about her more, um, So, but yet she was able to kind of like her and the rest of your family kind of able to just be just be like, this is okay. You're not an alien. People go through
Yeah.
this stuff.
Yeah.
We're here to support you. But
Yeah.
and it came at an important part of your life to where you don't feel like you're left out in the cold, and you're like you're able to just grow.
Yeah.
Maybe
Definitely.
in more ways than one. Like you're kind of getting swole at the gym now, so you're actually growing in that way. But like
Yeah,
you're
but
actually growing
it
as
helps
a
too,
yeah.
getting out there, like in public, for the gym
Oh, sure.
especially. Uh,
Yeah,
but
getting some confidence.
yeah, that's the main thing I didn't have was confidence. It's hard to push yourself when you have like no motivation or confidence because you're
Mm,
you're purely thinking like it's just gonna make me feel worse if I go and do that. There's no point. That's literally like the mindset I was in.
mm.
But I don't know. Slowly like you got to take baby steps when you're at that point. You can't
Yeah.
force yourself into
Damn.
it. You'll just break.
Have you been in therapy?
I tried it. It just wasn't for me.
Oh,
Like the person trying to like get to me,
uh,
like mentally trying to see what it is. He just
mm,
wasn't asking the right questions.
sure.
But nor was I leading them to either, because
Yeah.
I was quiet.
Well, it takes two, my friend, and
Yeah,
sometimes you're the right person and the other person isn't, and sometimes they're not the right person, and you got to keep looking. So whatever it
yeah,
is, like if you feel like, and I don't know what it's like with your, with therapists and that, if it's free, if it's an elective thing.
yeah. It was free,
It was free,
free.
yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe you don't have as many choices. Maybe you have more choices for that reason. But
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've always been the person like if I need to do something, I'd want to do it myself.
uh,
Like
yeah,
I don't like
yeah.
influence over me at all.
I think you might have to get over that a little bit later on in life
Yeah,
because,
I definitely
well,
will.
you
But
you
like,
you've been able to accept help from family.
yeah, but like to the point where they're not really helping me public wise. Like I know what I gotta do, like to be
Yeah,
in public and that.
right.
They just help me like mentally. You okay? Like does anything bother you?
Mm,
Talk to me like that. They support me in that way. But like going in public, I have to do it myself. Like I can't rely
yeah,
on other people, otherwise I'll never
of
learn.
course, of course. Well,
Yeah.
you don't strike me as someone who was ever like entitled or, I mean, the social anxiety and stuff that, that wasn't because your parents sheltered you or anything. It was just
Yeah.
sort of
No.
it's sort of like an innate feeling that you had, and you weren't sure like what was causing it, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I always felt it, but it wasn't like bad at the time. Like
mm,
I used to have quite a bit of friends, but they were the wrong type of friends, you know?
okay.
Like you said, like drug dealing and that. They did all that.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't involved with it. I could care less what they
yeah,
did, but I
sure.
stopped hanging around them because they started stealing stuff and I was like, okay, I don't want to be with
You don't
it.
want to get in trouble. Like you don't want to
It's
you don't want to
like
be you
I
don't want
don't
to be
even want
locked
to
up.
steal stuff. There's no point. Like there's literally no point.
Yeah,
They just want to
that's
act
good,
like
man.
idiots, but and then it's like I just isolated myself from there, I think. Like, I think that's a big part of it as well.
Do you feel like you isolated yourself because you kind of lost your group of friends? You weren't really sure where you fit in after that.
More or less, yeah. Like, I still had friends, quote unquote, like acquaintances, I'd say. Like, I'd talk to every now and then, but nothing like
What
real.
was it? Kind of like two extremes, like your friends, your group of friends were sort of these bad boys who like went around and had fun and partied and like and stole
Yeah,
stuff, and
dude.
you're like, but you
Man,
had to draw a line somewhere. And now these like acquaintances are very like kind of
see,
mellow and
they,
chill and like,
yeah. I mean, they never used to be like that, dude. That's
mm,
the thing. They never used to like be like that. The group of friends I'm
mm,
with, but I mean, two of them are in jail right now.
shit, they
Yeah,
got mixed up in some bad shit and like,
yeah. I mean, if you're just going
mm,
down that path, you're going to, man. It's hard to get out of it, but
yeah,
jeez, it's just I don't know. Some of the stuff they're doing is just complete stupid, in my opinion.
right. But who knows what their family situation is?
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe that's what led them down a bad path, you know?
yeah, the one of them had like their family was just like criminals, more or less. Like it's like a big gang of them. They had guns in the houses and stuff. It was
Mm.
ridiculous.
Is there a story about how you kind of like fell out with that group of friends? Was there one moment that,
Um, it was just when I noticed what they were doing. Honestly,
mm.
when I
What, were
took
you with them one day and they were stealing stuff?
no, I
No?
they know not to do that shit around me. I didn't like it. I told them I don't
Mm.
like it. I was like, if I'm gonna
Okay.
come out, we're just coming out to chill. I'm not gonna go around doing stuff like that.
Mm.
But I just like I kind of just decided to say no more and more, like going out and stuff. It's just
Mm.
like I was just getting away, kind of.
Well,
It's
I mean,
just,
you've been out of work for a while.
mm-hmm.
You're gaining confidence. You're staying healthy. You've got a decent sort of like routine other than having to sleep for so long.
Yeah,
I feel like if you threw yourself into a work routine on top of that, you would just kind of force yourself out of that, and then you'd be
yeah,
tired for a couple of weeks. Like if you can last a couple, you know how that is. Like
yeah. I
when
know exactly
you
how it
get
is.
out of
Yeah,
going to the gym, maybe it like takes 2 days to break out of a routine and 2 weeks to get back into it. It's like one
yeah,
of those things.
yeah. I know exactly what you mean, but I don't know. It's like now I'm definitely a lot mentally stronger, but
Yeah,
like even this like podcast, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Like if you asked me like a year ago, there's no
yeah,
way I'd have been
yeah.
so like shy.
I've just been like talking shit to you in my stream chat constantly,
Yeah.
and then I was like, oh, I kind of wanted to get to know you a little bit better. So I was like, why don't you come on and chat? And you were like, all right, and I was like, okay, cool.
Ah,
It's not nothing too messy. Nothing. There's not
yeah,
like
no.
we didn't do like a pre-interview. I didn't write down a list of questions. I had some stuff in my head that I wanted to ask you
Mm-hmm.
because you do kind of, it's different online, even in real life. Like you pick up things that people say, and it's different when you're just reading people's messages and you're trying to get a
Yeah,
read on somebody.
yeah. It's a
You
lot
do
hard
make
to read.
certain,
Yeah.
you make I try to make a lot of assumptions. I make little assumptions just so that I can get my foot in the door to
Mm-hmm.
where you can kind of learn a little bit more about it. But from what I've learned from you today is that, your family has been really supportive, and
Yeah.
they've given you enough resources to basically allow you to kind of heal and grow in your own body and mind, and like get you to where you can become a productive member of society. And like
Yeah,
that's really
dude.
cool. It's really
Yeah.
cool. And without them, like you'd be just in survival mode, kind of like I was as a kid. So this
Yeah.
is a better route. This is a better route for you.
I mean, it wasn't like that when I was younger. Like I always felt so
No.
isolated. I felt so different to my family.
Mm,
Like it was to
really?
the point, yeah. Like it was to the point where, like, because of my anxiety, I wouldn't want to go to like family meetups or anything because I'd feel so different. That's literally
Yeah.
how it felt.
Was
But
this as a young adult too? Or
yeah,
are
it's
you talking about
teenage
younger
years, like
teenage years? Yeah.
16, 17, 18. That's literally what it was
Damn.
like. God, you asked like
But you didn't know.
Valid. Valid was there for most of it too, the way I felt and
Okay.
everything.
You're talking about like
Yeah.
15, 16, stuff like
Like
that?
17, like 16, 17,
17,
18,
16,
round about
17. Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, those are awkward years to begin with. And when you're dealing with some mental problems, you didn't even really know what it
Yeah.
was. Like, you didn't know that your family would have been accepting of
Mm-hmm.
that.
I
But
was just
hell, I mean, who has the like super outgoing social skills unless your parents were kind of like almost like forcing you to talk about it as a kid, unless they were putting you like in front of psychologists, psychiatrists,
Yeah,
whatever,
no.
to draw that out of you, like you didn't know. But it doesn't really matter because now look at you, you're healthy and you're getting better. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't really trade your upbringing for anything, right?
No, I wouldn't one bit.
Yeah,
No.
because you learned a lot, and
It shapes you into the person you are. It really
yeah,
does.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you know what it's like in those dark moments, right? So
Yeah. So you can
yeah,
reflect on those a lot, and then
yeah.
yeah.
It's important to have some difficulty, I feel like, and some struggle, because if you ever do experience a little bit of struggle, and I've even though I've been through a lot of hard shit, I'm still derailed by little things. I'm trying to work on
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
it does kind of prepare you to not just freak out,
Yeah. Like
basically.
I get
Not
like
not
it
have to,
sometimes, but yeah.
yeah, not just have to call mom every time something goes wrong. Like
Yeah,
you got to learn
no.
how to. Yeah.
See, I was never like that. Like, because my mom suffered it too. Obviously, people deal with it in different ways. That's what I learned. I was like, yeah, if I want to do it, I want to go. I want to do it myself. I don't want to rely on people. I'd just rather do it myself and learn the hard
Mm.
way.
Hmm. And like I said, it's not a bad thing to want to do things yourself, as
Yeah,
long as it doesn't make you stubborn to where you're incapable of asking for help.
yeah. No, if I need help or if I need to talk,
Believe it or
I
not, in this
will.
life, there's going to come times where you either need somebody to confide in, or there's really something you really can't do.
Yeah, no.
Because I don't know how swole you are, but I don't think you can like lift a couch. So like you're gonna need someone on the other end of that couch
True.
to lift it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
But
One
yeah.
one time when I was moving, there's this guy who lived in our building, and he's actually a UFC fighter. I found out later on.
Oh
This guy
my.
Chris Tusher, Chris the Crowbar. You know who Brock Lesnar is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like Brock Lesnar's training partner. I found out because Brock Lesnar trains in Minnesota.
Oh damn.
It's
Yeah.
that guy. He's this giant, and this dude he was like the modern day like Biff. Biff from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
He's
Back to
like
the
that
Future.
guy.
Yeah.
He's that guy on HGH and shit. Like,
Yeah.
and he's massive, and like I'd seen him in the building a couple of times, but the one time the main interaction I ever had with him, I was moving a couch down with my friend, and I don't know, like I needed to hit the gym a little bit more or something, because well, I took the bottom end of the couch, and it's kind of narrow, and it's
All
in the
right.
morning, so
You just feeling the heavy
um
part.
yeah, I was feeling the heavy part. I'm going down the stairs, and I kind of stumbled, and the couch like pinned me. The couch like pinned me up against the wall, and I went like, "Ooh,"
Oh
And I look
my.
over, and here's Biff, freaking Chris the Crowbar Tusher, and he's just like chuckling. Oh, 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 oh.
I've been in
He
a
always had
similar
this like blonde
situation.
spiky
Yeah.
hair. What's that?
I've been in a similar situation like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that was like super embarrassing, but also like
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I didn't
It's
drop the
pretty
couch though,
funny.
bro. Didn't
I
drop it, or
know.
did I? If I would have dropped it, it would have like dropped on my feet. It would have been like double like Three Stooges action
Jeez.
there. Yeah.
No, I had a similar situation where, dude, my legs, bro. Like, God, I tried to carry some things downstairs, dude. I felt myself leaning forward. I tried to catch myself. My legs just weren't having it, dude. They were so weak.
Oh
God, I
shit.
remember falling up against the wall and just like, I guess smacking my chest straight up against it.
Ugh.
Like, dude, it winded me, but I was like, damn, I'm weak, dude. I'm so weak.
I mean, like the first time you get like punched in the stomach or something, you realize like how fragile you are as a human. Like when
Yeah.
you lose all your air in one go, it's like, or if you even just like fall over and like just somehow your solar plexus like just
Yeah,
you're just
just
like
send your
gasping for air.
body into shock. You're like,
Yeah,
damn.
yeah.
Yeah.
No. No, I've always been
Jeez.
a big guy, but people like assume that I'm strong, but I'm not. I could be a lot stronger. But
Yeah, man, utilize it, bro.
I know I need a gym buddy.
Yeah, see, that's a
I
big
say
part.
that, but I don't really need it, but I want it,
No, you definitely do. Like,
God
there's
damn
so
it.
much competitive edge with it. Like, the buddy I go with is not like the best, like lifting
Obviously
wise.
not.
He's tall and skinny. Like, it's hard for
Mm,
him to gain muscle.
mm,
So, but he tries his hardest. Like, if I see him trying his hardest, I want to do my hardest. You know?
no. I say obviously not because it seems like he's been skipping out on you a lot lately. So
Yeah, I mean, he has
I
been
mean,
ill
he's
though.
quote unquote sick, like
Yeah, that's what I
m-
kind of gather. It's like
maybe it's true.
sick. Yeah, it's whatever. If he needs time off, he can have it.
Yeah. Well, you spend a lot of time on Twitch. Like, what is Twitch to you? And like, is there like a healthy amount that you consume, or is it
Hmm.
something that's like kind of like a security blanket for you? And like, do you see yourself getting back into streaming, stuff like that?
I definitely see myself getting back into streaming. Like, I feel like it's good for you, like mentally as well.
Mm.
But I honestly don't spend that much time chatting. There's only like certain channels I'll chat in. I'm a lurker for
Yeah,
the most part. I like to lurk
yeah,
and watch. But no, definitely streaming again.
yeah.
So
Well,
let's
what
put
is it?
yourself on a
What?
spot.
Yeah. Well, what is it about it you feel like it's healthy for you?
Just the interactions, dude.
Yeah.
Like some of the interactions when you can actually see them face to like their face, like how they react. Yeah, it's definitely a lot that for me.
Hmm. But when you're in front of the camera, I don't know if you actually use a webcam or
I
not. I don't know if
do.
I see your screen. You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. When it started out, like not everybody had webcams, and it was kind of
No.
like this point of contention. Everybody that like didn't copy someone else and use a webcam, or they weren't super comfortable with it, like
Hmm.
they didn't assume that they had to have one. And not everybody does use one, but most people do nowadays, which wasn't necessarily the case back then. I
Yeah,
think that
no.
webcams weren't like the Logitech like C920 camera is
Yeah.
like the gold. That's the camera I have, and I've had it
It's
for
the
a long
camera I
time. But
have too.
yeah, but I mean, without that, like I don't know what streamers would do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
It's like
hmm,
I guess it's like a presentable thing. Like what
yeah,
type of people you associate yourself with, so to
yeah,
say. Because
but
personality is one thing and looks is another thing. Because people are so
yeah,
judgmental, dude. A
true.
lot of people are. So
Yeah,
that's kind of like
I
the
mean,
mindset I'd say.
I mean, like I had a lot of shame about how I looked and stuff, and that there
Yeah.
was a time period around 2012 where I had lost a lot of weight. I've gained a lot of it back, and like,
Hmm.
but back then, like I really didn't want to show people my face because I didn't want to hear what they had to say about me.
Yeah, I feel
But
you.
now I'm just like I can brush it off a lot easier. But
Yeah, that's how I was. Like I just like I saw it on set. I was like, yeah, just grab the camera and just force myself into it a bit.
uh,
Like I was very self conscious when I
well,
was younger.
what was that like wanted to force yourself into it? Were you just like you just
Just
like
just want to change, dude.
mm,
You gotta change. Like
yeah.
if you stay like the same path, you'll never progress. Like it's hard.
Yeah. But I feel like with the webcam, I feel like you can express yourself a lot more thoroughly. Like
Yeah,
you can have
instead
an
of the
expressive
voice.
voice. I'm kind of
Yeah,
monotone, but I've tried to get better at like emphasizing words and getting better at being like an orator. Like
yeah, yeah.
yeah, but
I feel you. But
like it helps me a lot. I feel like people can really read me a lot better with the webcam than without it. It feels weird when I don't have it.
yeah, I mean, I used to feel that way about Luigi. Luigi would say
Yeah.
stuff, and he never used to have he used to have a camera every now and then.
Yeah.
But like when he'd say stuff, I just couldn't tell if he was joking, and I was like, okay,
He's very dry.
yeah,
Very dry.
very.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, I mean, now that I know him better, I can definitely tell.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got to get to
Uh,
know that guy for sure.
yeah, no,
Yeah, I would plug his stream and stuff, but he's not about that life.
yeah,
So,
no. We used to play a lot of games. Like
bummer.
I played 24 hours on his stream of
Damn.
Fortnite when he was doing the
This
for
year?
kids. Yeah, yeah. It's
Awesome.
like
I'm glad you did that.
yeah, and
Yeah, extra life.
yeah, Extra Life,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't know. He likes playing GTA now a lot. He doesn't. I
Yeah.
message him. He puts me off. He's like, no.
Yeah. I haven't really been in touch with him lately, and I just miss it because we used to have it was like late nights because when his kids were were just born or young, he'd be up late and we'd be
Mm.
just up chatting,
He's
and
still up
if it
late.
wasn't for his line of work, he'd be on the podcast for sure.
Oh yeah,
Because
dude.
him and I got a good connection, but I
Yeah,
understand why he doesn't want to come on. You know, a
yeah. I
couple
mean,
people are like that. I'm like, damn, dude, we have good conversations. Like, I'd love to be able to record this and put it out, but I get insights from him anyway.
yeah.
Shit. So for you, what are your goals for streaming, and like what do you want to do with your life in the next year?
Well, streaming, I don't know. I just do it for fun, honestly. I don't
Hmm.
look at the numbers that much. Like some follows, like I'm
Hmm.
grateful, and I don't know. I just like to do it because it's fun, you know.
You want
Just
to
to
be a part. You just want to be back into the fold. You want to be back on
yeah,
Twitch. You want to be back in the mix in this orbit of friends that we've been so lucky to have. We'll
yeah,
call it the
exactly,
blacklist, the kind of the blacklist orbit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But well,
Even though it's never really been like a team, it's technically a team, but
mm-hmm.
it was like this like center point that we were anchored to with Smack, and
Yeah,
all the people around. It kept us in this, like, I call it like an orbit, because we all kind of circled around and watched each other
yeah,
and met
yeah,
all the people that chatted and people that came in. People splintered off into their little groups of people that wanted to play with each other, and
yeah.
like, I think it's beautiful. That's really like the points
It-
of Twitch that kept me going,
yeah, it's great.
because I never was like a super egotistical person to where like
Mm-hmm.
you have to watch me for me. And it's like, no, well, I want to meet people, and I like the hang. I
Yeah,
like being around other people, and I kind of miss like having a little group that I play with all the time. And a lot of that falls on me. I take that responsibility to where I need to just join these discords and see what's up,
oh yeah, true. You could be
Yeah.
social more than you are.
Yeah.
I get you.
Definitely. Definitely. I got to be willing to play Tarkov and shit though.
Have fun with
So,
that.
oh boy.
But no,
What's on the agenda for gains for you for coming months?
I mean, you know the one. Sons of the Forest is definitely going to be a
Oh,
cup for me.
you love that shit?
Dude, I love the Forest. It's so
Okay,
good.
we're gonna get Adam fellow. I've been waiting, Adam. We've been waiting to get Adam into the forest because we don't want to like burn out on it. We want
Yeah,
to
no.
get the band back together. We want to get into playing the forest and do a full playthrough with Adam. I don't think he's done the whole game.
No. He definitely
We're
hasn't. He
gonna
played it when it was early. Like, and that's kind of what's probably put him off. But I messaged him if he's seen the trailer, and he said he did, and
mm,
he said it looked
mm,
creepy. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a
yeah.
bad thing. He didn't say much
It
on it,
That
but
game better be at least co-op.
dude, it's gotta be.
If it's not, that's a big disappointment to
It would
me.
be unless
Just
unless they come out with it later on. But even
mm,
then, I don't think I'd play through it solo.
all of the work they did to make the forest to where you can just be multiplayer. Now it's VR and PC mixed, and just all of the elements of the game, and it's been just beautifully handcrafted
Yeah,
in like a chaotic, messy, kind of buggy, like awesome way.
yeah,
So many different random encounters and things that happen in that game. It's just so amazing. The cave
yeah.
system, and
Like even the bugs for the most part, it's what makes the game. You know,
yeah,
it really is.
totally,
It's
totally. So
so
if
dumb.
Sons of the Forest is not co-op, I'm gonna
God,
riot.
yeah, dude.
Which I
That
don't know what that means, but
I that'd suck, dude. It
I
better
would.
be because I played through co-op on the last Forest. I don't know if you know Beans. I played with him
Yeah.
and we were hooked, dude. We liked it. We're just getting on every day playing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Now you can have I want to get the other Dave, not Dave that was selling green out of the
yeah,
printer, online Dave. I want to get him to
right,
run a server and get a dedicated server going and get people in. But here's the thing: we can't start too quick because
mm-hmm.
you don't want to burn out. Get it
Yeah, you
when
definitely
Adam's
don't.
ready. We'll get the server up, get people in. We'll build a nice base. We'll
Yeah,
build a roller coaster. We'll get some turtle shells going. You know,
get them zip lines on the go.
yeah, get the zip lines going, and then we'll go in the cave, see some naked mutants, and
Pick up
then
some
get that key
special
card.
parts. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it'll
then
be fun.
Yeah.
Well, shit, man. I'm glad I got to know you a little bit better here.
Yeah, dude.
Uh,
Likewise.
so okay, so this is normally like the first question, but I guess
Right.
it's going to be one of the last questions.
Right.
So why are you so unoriginal with your usernames? And like, did you ever have?
Wow. Wow. No, I wonder why. Nah, I wonder why. I couldn't get the original
Oh,
names, obviously.
yeah. What was the deal? Like, did you ever have any other? Did you have any other aliases? Where you're like,
Alms, ALMS. It's
oh,
just a synonym on my name.
oh,
Well, on the
okay,
word, I guess,
huh,
because my name's
okay,
technically a word. But
interesting.
also, my old name, Grantstaa, with three A's at
Yeah,
the end. Yeah, that's
yeah.
about it, really, for like name
Oh,
wise.
damn, dude. Okay.
Uh,
That's not a bad thing if you can like just keep that going. I mean, I actually I'm just kind of talking shit like I usually do, but
yeah, I know.
I always hated all my aliases. I
Yeah.
mean, my freaking what was my first alias? Like extreme, which is also tattooed on my shoulder for some godforsaken reason because that's what my friends called me. So that's like
Yeah.
and it was one of those things I always like to have names that people would roll their eyes at, you know? Because
Wildcard
I was
Dan.
never super
Yeah.
serious. I wanted people to think just to like it would like throw them off, you know? Because like if I
Mm-hmm.
was dominating in the game, they'd be like, "Who's this guy extreme? Like what the?"
Extreme.
I'm
No.
not like like ultra sniper 187 or something.
XX
Yeah,
underscore.
the X is on
Yeah.
the end. I never got that part. Somebody started that and they should be
Luigi
shot.
used to have a name like that, didn't
He did.
he? Yeah.
I don't know. It was a culture thing, man.
Yeah, it definitely
But nah,
was.
yeah. I mean, I don't. We can talk about all my aliases. Is not even an important. There's like a story behind each one, but it was mostly just out of necessity.
Yeah.
There's this StarCraft player who he found his name similar to like how I picked my name, Orange Sherbet.
Mm-hmm.
Like he needed an alias and he was like drinking a Nestea. So like he just called himself Nestea.
Oh my. I actually
Yeah.
think I know that player too. I've seen him before.
Yeah, he's like a freaking he's a baller like legend. He was like
Dude.
200 IQ StarCraft 2 player.
Dude, most of those
But
players
yeah.
is like non-emotional when I see them play. Like they do so
Oh
much
yeah.
hectic stuff and they're just like
Yeah.
blank faced the whole time.
I
It's like,
mean it's
jeez.
not like who's the EG guy? The guy who was like the famous
Um,
rager, Idra?
Idra.
Yeah, he's
Idra?
probably the most emotional player and it proved to be like a to his detriment cuz he would like
Yeah.
rage quit games before and the announcers would be like, "Oh, he wasn't going to lose." But he would just like rage quit cuz he assumed he was going to lose. He like wouldn't even GG. He'd be like, "Wow, no
Just gets the
GG,
better
huh?"
of them, yeah. Dude, I've been watching
Yeah.
like Super Smash Bros. Rage compilations. Dude, they're the worst, bro. They get so mad.
Certain games draw that out of you. I don't know what it is. What is it about game
Yeah.
design that like draws rage out of people? Like some games like StarCraft 2 and that there's like this culture of like good game, just leave.
The learning
And
curve on that game though is crazy.
yeah. So it's like the discipline behind the game. And
Yeah, it's
like
like
yeah.
I don't know. It's like if you're going with the mentality you want to be the best, you will get frustrated a lot. Or like you want to
Mm,
go and you want to be good. You know.
yeah. You got to be humble. You got to be humble and realize that you're not going to win everything. You can take each loss as like a lesson.
Yeah.
I think that's something that people who are outside of gaming don't realize that there
Mm-hmm.
is like growth and development as a person within gaming.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't rule your life. Like I've learned a lot through gaming,
Yeah. So have
and,
I.
and it's been a lot of escapism for me, but it's also
Mm-hmm.
been a big part of like social social interactions for me. It
Oh,
got me to a
nice.
point. It actually got me to a point where especially through Twitch, to where maybe I can actually make friends because
Yeah.
I'm not just like this freaking hermit. Like I don't
Yeah.
have to be that.
No, I feel you on that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard. Like, especially social, like you say, social
Hmm.
interactions. I'm not the type of guy to go up and talk to people. I don't get how people do it. I'm not that guy. Like, someone wants to talk to me, I'll talk back. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm not that confident in
Hmm.
my social
I think
speaking,
that
should I
I think
say?
that's something you can grow into, man. It sounds like It
Oh
sounds
yeah,
like when the time
definitely.
comes, you're not going to be afraid of it though.
Yeah, no, that's like
Yeah.
kind of like streaming with a webcam kind of helps. To puts
Hmm.
myself on the spot and like talking to
Hmm.
people who come in is like a big thing to me.
Right.
So
You know, I'm
yeah.
gonna have to do a callback here because I asked you about like gaming and streaming. I guess maybe I didn't. Maybe didn't specifically say streaming, but you had said I'd kind of asked about if gaming had helped you with social anxiety and that, and you'd kind of push that question off. But
I'm pretty sure you
it
asked
sounds
like
like
if it. Yeah, go on.
oh, but it sounds like maybe it will help you at least in some aspects.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, in terms of like not so far, it hasn't. Like it'd make it
Oh,
worse than
okay.
anything because
Hmm.
not getting out there and being social is
Oh,
bad.
okay.
Yeah, you
Oh,
know.
yes. So you feel like relying on that for social interactions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
because like speaking of Mike, like I said earlier, it's easy, right? There's no like face to face, like
Yeah. Okay.
you're not fully
Okay.
developed in the brain for like social whatever.
Right. Right. But at least you can relieve a little bit of tension
Yeah.
and but like you've been doing, like you do have to actually engage, like or not. Like you can choose however you want. Like people can
Hmm.
live their entire lives online.
Yeah,
But
they really can.
eventually you got to get away from it.
Yeah,
Like
you have to go into the real world.
experience life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
It's a dangerous thing to be caught in a bubble. I'll say that.
yeah, comfort zone's pretty
Yeah.
dangerous,
Mm.
dude.
Well, like Twitch and sort of these orbits of people that we've met, it's allowed us to interact with people from around the world. Even though I
Hmm.
assume that like Tim Tams are like a UK candy, like hey, I learned it. But
Yeah,
like I think Cabby's going to be really mad with me because I think that he mentioned Tim Tams when we were talking about like Australian foods. But
yeah.
I was just trying to think of to my credit, trying to think of the international aisle and what the hell is in the international aisle. There's Pocky, there's Tim Tams,
The
there's
Jeff
all this.
cakes.
I know what the traditional like Jewish foods and stuff like that are because
All right.
they all have like ZEL at the end of them and stuff. Um,
Okay. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that.
like giant like matzah and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why they like the letter Z so much, but
Don't know
is it
either.
Z or Zed there?
Z.
How dare you?
Z, bro. Z.
Why? Why?
I don't know.
Everything else is just
It's
a
like
letter. Why is it three letters?
it's like H. It's not like H. It's H. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
H is a letter. Z
Yeah,
is
I
three letters.
know. I don't know, bro. Just
Z.
accent.
All
I feel like
right.
accent matters a lot. It
Oh
definitely
God.
does.
You know
Yeah.
what I heard? You know what I heard the other day is
What did you
that the origins of the like British accent, like
Mm-hmm.
the like British people used to talk in like a New England accent.
Yeah.
You know about
Well,
that?
listen, isn't
It's
English language Nordic descent anyway?
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
so like people kind of used to talk in this like sort of North New England, if you can
Mm,
imagine like British like a Boston accent or something like that,
yeah, yeah,
maybe some
yeah.
version of that. But then there were like these regals, like the royal families, and that they started to talk uh,
Proper.
proper, and then that's kind of how it grew. Like then the common people kind of picked up on that, and that's how it got started. So they actually had to grow out of the the like more
Mm.
common type of dialect into in from common to proper to now, just like in America, all these different. There's like Cockney and what are the other ones like?
Cockney, Scouse, Black Country. There's
Yeah,
a lot. There's quite a bit. There's like
yeah.
different areas with different accents too.
It kind of blew my mind because I had no idea
Yeah. I feel like
because
my accent isn't as bad anymore. I spoke to too many like Americans, so it's like filtered now.
it's noticeable.
Yeah.
It's
I have,
noticeably different, but it's at least I
yeah.
can understand what you're saying most of the time.
There's been stuff you've been hearing that you haven't been able to understand. Like
Uh,
what? Like
uh,
that sentence?
uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
No. Okay.
No? Yeah?
Yeah. No,
yeah.
for the most part I can understand what you're saying. I also have this innate ability which is not it's not a good like if you were a superhero, it wouldn't be good to have as a superpower, like being able to ignore what people are saying.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I can tune people out.
It's both. It's both good and bad.
Yeah.
It's a risk. It's a double-edged sword right there.
Yeah, not good. So where can people find you, and like when are you going to start streaming again?
Well, I'll probably start streaming again once I get into a full routine, like gym, come back home, like feel lively and not tired. And they can find me at twitch.tv/GRANTT.
Grant with 2 T's because he likes to drink tea. Grant with 2 T's. Yep.
I knew that was coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Twitter.
Grantstaa with 2 A's at the end.
Yeah, Grant and the ST
double A. Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
We'll have to do this again.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun.
It's great. I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Music in this episode is from the artist Data Rebel. As always, you can find all the links in the show notes, including our website, pod.co/emotive. And you can find us on Twitter at Emotive Podcast. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening.